Alright guys, this is our weekly solo player's guide to the Nightfall. This is our Warlock variant. If you're new to the channel, we do this every single Tuesday and Wednesday with all three classes, Warlock, Hunter, and Titan. So if you need any other of those guides, look in the description box below. And if you're new to the channel, go ahead and subscribe. We also do a Challenge of Elders guide every single Tuesday. So if you need that, that is also going to be in the description box down below. So other than that, let's go ahead and look over our what the modifiers are this week, and then we'll look at what we're rocking as far as setup goes, with subclass, weapons, all that good stuff, and then we'll rock the guide. Modifiers this week include Void Burn. Void damage from any source is greatly increased. Berserk. Minions of the Darkness won't flinch even after massive damage. Small arms. Primary weapon damage is favored, but it is going to take away from your special and heavy damage output, so just keep that in mind. Fresh troops. Some enemy squads have been fortified with additional reinforcements. And Daybreak. What Daybreak is if you ever played Mayhem Clash, it's exactly like that, but the PvE version. If not, what it does is just recharges your super, grenade, and melee energies way faster than normal. So, pretty fun. And of course, we're rocking nothing manacles. Hand of Judgment, I would highly suggest a scout rifle of some sort. Or if you've got adept weapons, the Doom of Chelchis, I believe, is the Taken King's Fall scout rifle. That's adept. That's also void. You're going to want that because it will do extra damage to the boss. Devil's Dawn is what I'm rocking, but if you've got a Event Horizon or an Ex Machina that's also void, you might prefer those. They all are in the same archetype, so that's really up to you. And then I'm using a rocket launcher this week. Surprise, I know, but it actually worked out better than the machine gun I was rocking. So as far as setup goes, our subclass goes, we're rocking Embrace the Void. Killing enemies with Nova Bomb or any grenade triggers energy drain and restores your health. The Hunger increases the duration of the energy drain effect, so it's just going to give you that quicker grenade recharge for like 2 or 3 more seconds longer. It really helps out a lot. Lifesteal is what I rock, but you guys can rock. You can rock just about anything, to be honest. There's not going to be too much that you're going to be slapping. I'm using Vortex. Nova Bomb creates a vortex which continually damages enemies entrapped inside. That's just for that little bit of extra damage to the boss and the majors that don't insta die from it. And then of course you want scatter grenades. So let's go ahead and drop into this guide. Alright, so as you get over here, this is going to be the first Nightfall tier zone. What I do is just go ahead and start throwing grenades down. You'll get them back instantly, so just go ahead and just keep popping them. Clean up that guy, throw grenades, whatever. And then come around here, there's going to be some Vandals, some Shanks, and some Taken enemies. Go ahead and just pop your grenade right down there. Get these guys across the way. Wait for these shields. If you've been with my channel at all, you know how much I hate Taken enemies. So this is not a nightmare from hell, but it wasn't the greatest. Let's go ahead and take all those guys out. Kind of rock around here. You can shoot those little explosive things to kind of defuse them if you want. And just shoot these guys over here. There's usually 2 Vandals or 2 Hobgoblins. This time I got 1 of each. So just be careful of them. The Vandals, not the Vandals, but the Hobgoblins will be doing void damage, both with their weapons and those little orbs they blast out at you once they take damage. So be very careful of them. Up next is going to, once you come up here, there's going to be 4 Vandals that come running down here. Just go ahead and throw a little grenade up there. It should be pretty quick to take out. Once you get here, there's going to be some more scions. Just go ahead and start throwing grenades. They probably will respawn, or not respawn, but you know, clone themselves, just like that. Let's just go ahead and keep throwing grenades. And over here, there's going to be 3 normal vandals. I think everything in this section right now are normal red bar health enemies, but there's going to be 2 captains, a minotaur, a bunch of goblins with their shields. I hate those things. Some dregs, and then 2 regular captains, if I didn't say those guys already. And then once you kill all them, just go ahead and run up to the door, and you're going to have to use your ghost to scan it or whatever to start the door opening process. Alright, so once you start that, you want to go ahead and just run all the way back towards here. Now every once in a while, the spawns will kind of be out of order. Usually it's like this, but every once in a while there will be a little orb that spawns in just to the left of where I'm standing right now, and that will have 3 major vandals in there. So just be very careful if you see that second orb spawning in. Just go ahead and get your super ready. It's the fastest way, and you'll get it right back. But pretty much what you want to do is either stand where I'm standing right now and just pop your super as often as possible, or just throw grenades, or you can run all the way back down to where those first scions were that we killed in this area. You can go ahead and stand there and just pop your grenades over and over and over. It's really whatever works for you the most with what your weapons are rocking. And so that's where they will spawn. So it's either going to be in the first spawn or the second wave of enemies. So just be careful of all that. Be careful too with what you just saw. That little shield will completely block your super as well. Incredibly annoying. So just go ahead and take all these guys out. Now also, in that first spawn there's going to be, it's either going to be minotaurs and the hobgoblins, or just hobgoblins usually. So depending on what you get, be very careful. And then depending on what you get on the first one, it's usually going to be 3 major, like I said, it's either 3 major minotaurs, or there's just going to be a butt ton of major hobgoblins. And the second wave, it's usually just a insane amount of acolytes, normal health acolytes, and then it's usually 3 major centurions. So just be careful of them. The centurions are doing all void damage as well with their guns and with these orbs. Be very careful of those orbs. If you're not 400 light, or you might be like 285, not 285, but 385 light, those might one-shot you. So just be very careful if you're lower light leveled. Make sure you shoot them every single time. And then we'll move on. Alright, so once you get to this part, go ahead and just, what I was doing was just trying to skip this part. But what I found it to be easier is actually just go ahead and take out these hobgoblins. Just be careful of these orbs. Like I said earlier, they are all doing void damage. So just be careful of that. But take them out, and then there's going to be a few more. And then it's just a whole lot easier to get rid of all these guys, and then a couple of the goblins, and then you can just rush right past the other ones. Alright, so once you get to this section, there's going to be one major captain, one major minotaur, several goblins, and a few hobgoblins over to the right, so just be careful of them. What I like to do is just use my super against the captain, which is down in the little middle section. Just like so. And then just kind of throw your grenades up there. Usually you can take out a bunch of them. And then just take out the Minotaur from a distance. Alright, so hopefully you'll have your super by then. Once you get here, just go ahead and pop those guys all right down there. There's going to be some goblins, a centurion there. And then in this middle section, there's just going to be these guys spawning right now, some more goblins, and some thralls. What I like to do is just throw these grenades just slightly in front of them. That way they'll kind of just teleport into them. Pretty awesome. About the only thing that's awesome about these guys. Go ahead and just throw your grenades, and then try and use your super on that major captain down there in the middle as well. And then there's also going to be some dregs as well as these goblins. Once you take all these guys out, you'll be prompted to go up towards the orb and start the final boss encounter. Once you do that, go ahead and run all the way back over here. Throw as much damage as you can into him as possible. Whether it be a rocket launcher, grenades, super if you got it. And then once these guys spawn in, start throwing your grenades over there. And then just try and kind of clean them up with your primary if at all possible. But you are going to want to be back here. And then that way you can just jump up, throw your grenade, clean up what few of these guys are left, and then just keep throwing your grenade around the corner just like so until the next wave spawns in. Once that happens, just go ahead, just like before, throw your grenades. There's just going to be a bunch of scions this round, and then in the middle there's going to be two major minotaurs as well, so just be careful of them. And then if you can, rock them with your super. It should take them out one go. Especially if they're standing right next to each other, which they usually seem to be. And then just be careful when you throw your grenades, because if one of their shots hits your grenade, and that will blow up right in your face. So just be very careful of that. Pop some heavy scents, especially if you're using rockets. That'll help a lot. And then just keep on going with the boss. There we go. And just kind of keep your distance from the boss, obviously. Rock him with whatever you got. Rockets, machine gun, primary if he gets too far. As you can see, we already got him down to about half health. Go ahead, there's going to always be some scions down in there. So go ahead and just keep throwing grenades in there until you stop hitting stuff. And then pretty much just what I like to do is just run up there and throw my super at the boss as often as possible. As you can see, we already got the gold tier medal, so you don't really have to worry about the time bonus this round. But just be very careful. It is pretty decently easy to die. The next wave, I believe, is going to be a bunch of hobgoblins. They will either show up here where I'm shooting at now, or on the far left side. Not where those scions were spawning in, but actually you'll be able to see them pretty decently right here in a second. Right up there, right by the orb. Also, these guys will spawn in. There's going to be goblins. There's going to be one major goblin in each time. As you can see, I died really quick, so I'm going to go ahead and edit this down to that second wave and we can further discuss it. Alright, so back to where we were. Go ahead and throw your grenades there. As soon as you hear that orb start spawning in, just go ahead and start throwing them. Will take a second for your grenade to kind of, especially if it does that, that's so annoying. But in this wave, I believe it's just a bunch of hobgoblins and regular goblins. The hobgoblins, like I said, do a lot of void damage, so take them out from a distance, or you're gonna have to do it from a distance anyways. You don't want to be running up there at all. As you can see, they're all going to be majors as well, so just be very careful, and be very careful of these goblins with their shields. The goblins are also doing void damage. So go ahead and just take care of them. I would suggest taking out these hobgoblins first. There's usually like three on the left, and then like 2 or 3 more in the middle as well. I think it's 2 crit shots to the head, obviously. We'll take them down with a sniper if you've got one of those equipped, which I would highly suggest. And then just be very careful of this guy. Like I said, just keep popping your grenade, your super every chance you get. Your grenades as well. And then eventually you get them, I think, to it's about a 1/4 of health. And then that is when the last wave is going to spawn in, which is going to have, at first it's 2 Centurions, 1 major, 1 not. And then there's going to be like 3 more that spawn in after that. Another one is going to be major, and I think it's 2 normal health bar enemies, as well as these hobgoblins. So be very careful in that round. If you have to, you can jump back up into the area that we run down in from. You'll see me do it to get away from these Centurions and their orbs, because they can be pretty overwhelming with all the rest of the ads coming around. So just be very careful. Be prepared to just jump back up there at any given second. And then, yeah, after that final wave, which is this wave right here, actually, you're just cleared to take out all the rest of the ads, and then you're going to be cleared to take out the boss. So pretty much all I can tell you. So I'm going to go ahead and just let the rest of this play out so you can see how I do it, how it's done. And then, other than that, like I said at the beginning of the video, look in the description box below for those other guides. Stay tuned till the end for rewards if you're so interested. And other than that, I'll talk to you guys later.